Not at all, I put myself in position a lot of times after prelim nights and never had a good run to show for it. My best finish is 10th, and I feel like I've always been pretty good here, but no results Saturday night. And obviously the JJR 41 gets around here really good, and it shows. And Philip did a great job, and it's just a dream week. I'm numb right now. I don't even know what's going on. So thank you everybody that helps us out, Exalta, and Bobby for keeping this thing going. I mean, I thought stuff was going to get hairy there a couple times. 18 hit the wall and protected the bottom, and then the 09 about spun out in front of me. It was like, man, I know I'm losing time on these laps. I don't know if Darren was close at that point or not, but it was definitely a little sketchy. I was able to recover fairly well and put those guys behind me, but definitely some close calls, that's for sure. And you don't know what's going on. It's 25 straight laps and no yellows. You don't know if they're close or not, and I just had to keep rolling. But I think I set a pace where I was under control till I got to lap traffic, and then kind of turned it up in lap traffic. I just thought I was really good in 3 and 4, and kind of maybe maintained in 1 and 2. And they said Darren was a little bit better than me in 1 and 2, but I knew I had a little bit more in the tank, and I didn't want to burn myself out. 50 laps is a long race, but happy I held up and didn't make any big mistakes. I'm so focused. The second run, just focus on trying to make good laps. Obviously I'm thinking about a little bit if something's going to break or not. It's a brand new engine this year. It's got like 4 or 5 nights on it, and it's a new piece, something a little bit different. And who knows, maybe they tried something different in the valve train that could have messed up, or we had a shock fall off at the Capitani, and you just don't know what could happen. And the boys crossed their T's, dotted their I's, and made sure we didn't have any of that stuff happen. We had stagger issue on our prelim night, and we made sure we checked everything out 110% to make sure our car was going to be the same beginning to end, and they did a great job. Well, I always have confidence here, but to win the Capitani, to win your prelim night, it just makes you feel really good about yourself, obviously. It's just a confidence booster. And, really all 3 nights we had the car pretty similar, so we hit on something and kept rolling with that. So that's so huge when you're kind of searching and trying different things and hopefully land on something you just don't know in that A main. And I've been there before where we're good on our prelim night and then just didn't really have it Saturday and try to make it better at the break and make it worse. So luckily we had a good balance. Philip's extremely critical, and, he's measuring ride heights about every 3 seconds, and it worked out. Got a bad jump, and we were detuned a little bit, and hot laps, I didn't feel very fast around the top, and the track was a little fast early on. Joey obviously had a really fast car early, but I didn't get too excited. I know we fell back to 4th or 5th. It would be kind of hard to battle back up there and try to contend for the win, and just kind of fell into 3rd there. And I think I had a good restart and got by Joey, and then Aaron didn't know where to run in 3 and 4. He was running bottom, top, sliding himself, and I was able to just commit to the top and get some really good runs on him, and it just all worked out. I just let the race come to me, and just luckily I was able to maintain 3rd there early. I think that was huge, and then just kind of see what lines worked where and what was the best place to be.
Yeah, I honestly can't say enough about this team. I know it's a pretty common thing to say, but team, since we started this deal, there's been so many times where we've been knocked down and get back up, and it's what this team's all about. It's something my grandfather's been about since he's raced, and since he's taught me since I was a little kid. So we had a bad night Wednesday, and we actually had a bad night Sunday, and it definitely made me nervous for this week. I didn't have as much confidence as what I felt like I should have had. When we had a bad night Wednesday, we just sat in the trailer and sat there as a team and decided that we were going to build a new car or go back to the car that was running good, and it seemed to play out. So I can't say enough about my guys: Ron, Ben, Tyler, Lucky, Bill, Jeff, Joey, Jack back at home. Everybody that said that's put me in this position to run good. And Michael Newman building engines, and it's just to start 22nd and run 2nd at the Knoxville Nationals is awesome. So there's good and bad second place finishes. The Kings Royal was a tough one. I wasn't smiling a whole lot on that one, but tonight I'm smiling. It's pretty awesome. There's certain things when we ran the A main last night that I felt like our car needed to be a little bit better. Bringing the left rear a little bit too hard coming off the corners, and especially 1 and 2. I felt like the track was pretty similar tonight as what it was last night, and I feel like that helped me to run the racetrack. You know, everybody likes to get seat time here in Knoxville, and you know, here in June it was a completely different racetrack, really wet. And, this whole week I felt like every time we were on the racetrack it was pretty slick, and I just took from what I learned last night and we tweaked it a little bit. And, I was able to run the bottom really well in 1 and 2, and I felt like I favored the top in 3 and 4. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure that's where Dave was running too. And it car just felt like it would go anywhere. If I had to run the bottom in 3 and 4, I could run it in there wider and it stuck. So it's when you have a car that feels good like that and you can put it anywhere on the racetrack, it's definitely fun for the driver. Sure. So they say you got to run second before you can win. So you got to run, you know, I'm racing with the best in the business, and congratulations to Dave. He's been close to this deal. I remember him, you know, a couple years ago and breaking how down he was, but he's a great race car driver. So is Darren, and just to be up here with these guys it's pretty awesome. But I would. You know, we're going to keep working at it, and I believe we have the race team to get the job done, and we came close, you know, the 2 biggest races in sprint car racing. So I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing if we can tweak it and be just that much better.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty committed to the top at that point, and saw the white, and obviously, I mean, a couple of those laps I'd like to have back. I mean, I think the first 5 laps after the break, we were on pace with David, and just kind of really wanted to keep doing what we were doing until we got to traffic and see how that shook out, and made a huge mistake on 1 lap car in 3 and 4 that cost me, honestly, a full straightaway. I couldn't believe I didn't lose, you know, several positions. But honestly, took the white, and the lap car jumped the curb right in front of me in 1 and 2, and basically just had to come to a stop and you know, lost a lot of ground. But you know, I'm pissed off about it, but I've been that lap car, and I can guarantee I've cost some people some positions before. So I'm happy with the effort that our Rock Motorsports team put in, and for us to have a car I honestly feel like was capable of, you know, competing for a win. I don't think I've ever had that here, and this is the first time in this building at the end on a Saturday night. So you know, there's good thirds, there's bad thirds, like, you know, seconds, like David, or, you know, like Logan said, and I'm kind of in between. So on one hand, I'm happy. On the other hand, I'm pissed that I think I should have made too many mistakes as a driver to stay with David to at least see how it shook out later on. But honestly, I think you know, he had the better car and was able to get through traffic obviously a lot better than I was. And you know, I just can't make those mistakes and expect to win a race, or expect to win this race for sure. I mean, honestly, it's just, you know, a feel in a race car. I leave here every year watching videos and watching, you know, the guys that are successful here and watch their cars on video and go, mine doesn't even come close to doing that. Like, I mean, I've been, it's my 17th, I think, A-main start here on Saturday, and I've just never, this has been a difficult place for me to figure out, and for me as a driver and also as a setup, trying to figure out what, you know, I need to be successful. So we came here in June and tested right before the Outlaw Show a couple weeks, and felt good then and ran really well in June. And honestly, this has by far been the best year I've ever had at Knoxville. And while disappointed with, you know, running third, at least I'm in here and I can see the front, and I know maybe what that feels like now for your race car to, you know, to be competitive. And something I just feel like I've lacked for a long time, and just never have quite, you know. There's just some tracks that I get, I'm really good at some, and this just isn't one of them. And you know, I'm 40 years old, and maybe I'm finally figuring it out 20 years later.